All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. We'll do a roll call to determine the quorum. Counselor Baumgartner here, Evers here, Ferguson here, I'm here, Howard here. We are all here. We do have a quorum. We'll call the meeting to order. Begin with the public forum. This is the time when it's appropriate to address the council on any matters that the public may have. If you're from the public to address council, we ask that you state your name for the meeting record. Speaking times will be limited to 3 minutes. If there's unfinished business after those 3 minutes, we can direct staff to work with you offline. Anybody here from the public to address council? All right, not seeing any movement in-house. Anybody online? Not seeing any movement there, so we will close down the public forum and open up the setting of the agenda process. We have the agenda in front of us here. We've had it for a few days. Take a look here. If there's anything from the consent agenda that you would request to be pulled into a discussion item, that would be a great time to do that. Otherwise, if everything looks good, go ahead and move to approve the agenda. Second. Motion's been made by Ferguson, seconded by Howard to approve tonight's agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is set. We'll move down to the consent agenda. It includes the regular meeting minutes of August 18, the work session meetings of August 19, resolution 78 and 79, which are step movements for staff. And then we have the acceptance of donations. Resolution 80, it's a couple planters for our downtown space. Donated by Rita
Weber, yep.
Weber. Are those the ones that are currently down there?
Those are the ones that are currently, I don't know if Craig's moved them today or not,
Okay.
but yes, they were there prior to the new concrete pour and off, but she had them built specifically for Dowling Park. And wanted to make sure that we knew that they were donated.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Thank
You did a great job.
Thank you, Rita. All right, moving into discussion items. So,
We're gonna approve that.
oh, I'm sorry. You're right, we do. Call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made by Baumgartner, seconded by Evers to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion?
Yes, were the corrections?
Yes, yep.
Okay,
Counselor Howard had found some corrections in the minutes of both August 18th and
Oh.
19th, and yes, those were corrected today and are in the updated packet.
Thank you, Counselor Howard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda carries as written. As amended. Moving into the discussion items here. We're moving on to discussion item A, which is a public hearing on ordinance 2025-7, which is an amendment to the Olivia City Code, chapter 152, to repeal and replace sections 152.150 through 152.158 regulating signs. So the process will be that we'll temporarily recess the meeting, take some staff reports, receive public comment, and then we'll close the public hearing portion and reopen the regular meeting. So at this time, I'll call for a motion to temporarily recess the meeting and open up the public hearing.
so moved.
Second. Motion's been made by Howard, seconded by Ferguson to open up, to recess the regular meeting and open up the public hearing. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are now in the public hearing portion of this business item, and we will take staff reports at this point.
Thank you. So our August 18th city council packet included a memo about this ordinance repeal and replace along with the entire first reading of the ordinance. The planning commission has completed its review of essentially what our sign code is. These updates are intended to ensure the ordinance is constitutional, free of content-based regulation, consistent with Minnesota State Building Code, and easier for the public to understand and apply. It's important to note sign codes aren't easy. The planning commission has been looking at this in some way, shape or form since October of 2024. So Pam and Marissa have done a great job really counting out all the details. The proposed ordinance requires a complete repeal and replace. It's just easier that way. Some of the highlights include we've improved and clarified the definitions that are in the sign code. We've created 3 different tables to hopefully allow a much easier user-friendly format. We've also updated and streamlined construction and maintenance standards, sign administration and enforcement, sign variances, and then talked about updating our non-conforming sign section to ensure consistency with property owner rights. So it's a full update. Again, it took a while, but happy to see where we're at on the other side.
Okay. I think the council discussion might be under discussion item B.
That is correct.
So we'll right now take comment from the public on ordinance 2025-07. Not seeing any movement in-house on it. Anybody online? Not seeing any movement there either, so I'll call for a motion to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made by Baumgartner, seconded by Evers to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting, and we'll move on to the council discussion on ordinance 7, the amendment to Olivia City Code Chapter 152 to repeal and replace sections 152.150 through 152.158 regulating signs. Anybody has anything to say? Now's a good time.
My concern is that we just need to make sure that this ordinance, as well as other ordinances going forward, are ones that we actually follow and push the framework. We've got people doing a lot of work to get these things set, and there were quite a few issues with the sign that was put up at the school. There was a lot of resistance from the neighbors. There were members of the planning commission or the appeals board at that point that were involved in making decisions that should have recused themselves from those activities and didn't because of conflict of interest. So I would just hope that going forward with the assistance of our attorney, that we could make sure that if the ordinance states that somebody needs to prove a hardship to get a sign put someplace, that hardship is actually proven. If there are obvious conflicts of interest, I would hope that our attorney would point those out and make sure that those individuals do recuse themselves from the process.
Okay, any other discussion? We'll definitely work to maintain the integrity of the ordinance moving forward for sure. All right, I'll call for a motion to approve ordinance 7, which is an amendment to the Olivia City Code Chapter 152 to repeal and replace sections 152.150 through 152.158 regulating signs.
Second.
Motion's been made by Evers, seconded by Howard to approve ordinance 7. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Right.
Any opposed? Ordinance passes as written. Next up is the publication of the ordinance, resolution 81, authorizing the title and summary publication of the ordinance. Call for a motion to approve resolution 81.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Ferguson, seconded by Baumgartner to approve resolution 81, authorizing title and summary publication of ordinance 7. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 81 passes. Moving down to resolution 82, we have a couple representatives, the sergeant and the chief from the police department to present us with some quotes on a new police department vehicle. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Afternoon.
Morning personnel.
How's, oh, this isn't. Just gonna ask how the school construction zone was going.
I'll put you later on.
Alright.
Alright, so we are due for a new squad to keep on the rotation that we discussed last fall. We have been behind getting the last one, which is why, so that we're doing it back to back, we were behind getting that one. So we're due to get a new one, and we, as we discussed last fall as well, that we feel the best option would be to have one pickup in our fleet to give us some diversity within the fleet and to allow us better ways to transport things around town as we do our job right now. Even bicycles can be very difficult getting the back of an Explorer with the cage. So it would give us some diversity and availability to have a different vehicle for different situations. So I had identified the Ram 1500 as appropriate vehicle. We had really good luck so far with Chrysler Center here in town. As far as maintenance, the Durango's so far doing very well. Time will tell, but so far so good, fingers crossed. So I have zero reservation going forward, sticking with Chrysler product. That being said, the state bid was awarded to Dodge of Burnsville. So basically you just go on and download their Excel spreadsheet, you type in the options. For what we think the best would be, again, keeping in mind, we're looking at that 10-year rotation, so we'd rather this now keep it for 10 years before we theoretically move it down the road. So selected the options we wanted, that came in at $45,376. I went out and spoke with Olivia Chrysler Center, and out there, they provided $45,383, so $7 higher. They included in their document fee. Burnsville didn't include any of that stuff into their quote yet, which is more or less the same as when we did the Durango.
Sure.
So that brings it to $45,733. That being said, obviously that quote is slightly higher, but that includes the document administration fee already, whereas the Dodge of Burnsville did not. But again, we're talking $357 difference, I believe. Just out of the convenience side of it, well pays for it to pay more to be able to just handle it all locally rather than to go down to Burnsville to figure out paperwork. So that being said, that would be my recommendation. The money is already sitting there waiting for us in the CIP fund, as it should be based on our rotation that's been set up. The money's sitting there waiting for us to complete the purchase. Just need to go ahead to finalize it with Chrysler.
Council?
I thought it was cool that you're getting a pickup. I was like, about time.
We've talked about this for a long time.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the right time before. We weren't able to do it, it just didn't make sense, but now that we've been able to expand the fleet to be able to have one pickup in that fleet is gonna make a lot of sense and make a lot of things a lot easier. Maybe I can quit using my truck to haul stuff around.
That's probably a good idea. I mean, yeah.
Public Works doesn't like to give theirs up when they're using them.
If I remember right, we're on it's like 1 year, we don't replace one, the next year we do, the next one we don't, next one we do, and so that is what the budget is.
Yes, so going forward, quotes, depending on time of year I do the purchase, but here's the 2026 Ram, so the next one, could be next year, the year after, whatever it would be, a 2028 model would be when we'd be looking at the next one. So years ago, when I started, they were all even numbered vehicles, and then we got behind in the early 2010s and started on an odd number, and we've now skipped another one, so we saved the city money over the years, limping them all the time. For one reason or another, we skipped one vehicle in the past 15 years, but so that, again, at this point, we should start seeing even numbered vehicles, because that would be every 2 years. So whatever year that is should be even numbered. Generally speaking, I start looking at it in the fall before. So that way we're getting the newest vehicle. And you look at it based on, again, that's when statements usually come out.
Yeah, it's just based on whether you actually have a number to use, so.
That's-
do anything before that.
In theory, how it's budgeted for. So,
Well, it seems like it's on schedule, I mean, I don't have any issue.
Good. I like the local
Yeah.
vendor as well.
Yeah.
they've been really easy to work with. So it's been great.
Earn those dollars locally when we can.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for them to come down that close to the state bid is a lot. That's a big cut for them. I mean, their numbers when they crunch in the computer are way higher initially. So then they're all down to, I suppose, down to cities or wherever deals with that. Said, okay, how do we get close? and then they figured it out and they did very good.
Good deal.
We good to go on it?
Yep.
Call for a motion to approve resolution 82. So. Motion's been made by Ferguson, seconded by Howard to approve resolution 82, accepting a quote for the purchase of a new police department vehicle through Olivia Chrysler. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, resolution 82 is accepted. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stay here,
We have something else on it too?
staff updates.
Oh, all right. Reports from council, any reports from council? I don't think I have any either. Any reports from staff?
Yeah, so just a general happy first day of school, the Bold School Warriors, OPD was out providing traffic control for this morning, this afternoon. Help control all the traffic with the construction, so it's a learning process when you're dealing with the construction and now everyone's being shepherded through one door. But they've been great, responding to feedback and everything like that to get the first day of school safely underway. They can go on that if you guys want to build off that, after I'm done with my other things. The other things I have is, of course, you've all been notified, but just for the public report, we have received the resignation of our liquor store manager, Nanette Service, whose last day will be September 19th. We have posted this position online and people who are interested should apply by September 12th to be considered. A little update on Armory summer use. So if you recall, we had the Armory open June, July, and August from 8 AM to noon most days. We had a total of 94 visitors come and visit the Armory at some point over the summer. 50 of those were returning visitors, so that they came more than once. The most common age group to visit was 6 to 18-year-olds. 86 of the 94 attendees were in that range. The average length of their stay was about 2 hours and 11 minutes. Most of them used the gymnasium. And really a huge shout out to our summer teams who staffed that, Owen Baumgartner and Elliot Lang. They seem to run their own kind of little summer camps and had the kids really excited to attend. I went and sat in for Owen when he had to run across the street for an appointment. And the kids took one look at me and said, we'll come back when Owen returns. So it's definitely the right call to have those two guys there at the Armory. Did you have something about the Armory?
I had many comments throughout the summer. There have been bicycles that have lined the grass on the sidewalk of both sides of the building. And it's very.
There is a bike
happy-
rack.
Well, kids are not gonna use it,
No.
but the people are happy to see that that building is being used. And it's being used by our kids. Stack the bikes on top of each other if you have to,
Yeah.
if that's what's gonna get them doing something other than just looking for something that they shouldn't be
Yeah,
doing. So
yeah.
many kudos to the staff. on that.
Yeah, so that was exciting, and then just an update for Cornland USA, so last week I met with Sarah, Lori, and Carol to measure rooms and plan out where the equipment would go in each space, so that project is coming along. And then you have 2 reports already included in your packet, but please.
This morning was interesting, to say the least, went fairly well for the most part, we got yelled at a few times. Marcus did a little yelling. And then people driving past him and the barricade, I'm not sure what they're gonna get about that, but. Overall went well, we identified the Chestnut's still gonna be a really tight area for the buses and the kids are walking. People are parking down Chestnut and they're walking to school with their children and then going in. That's gonna be a problem, but our hope is that when people realize that they're gonna be walking through all the exhaust and stuff from the buses, they'll start using the buses more. Or a different way of transportation versus walking through there. We have no options, we have no sidewalks on that street, didn't think it was a good idea to come ask for one. Neighbors wouldn't appreciate it either, but, so that is one thing we've identified, but we're just gonna continue to go down and monitor it. We met with Penny this afternoon down there, or this morning. And she gave us input to talk to her driver, it's kind of a learning curve for all of us. When we have buses that were too far out, too short, you know, they're trying to figure out their routine yet too, so. Overall, it went really good for us, it's gonna be a learning process, and we're gonna have some comments and complaints, but we're doing what we can with what we have. We can't guarantee we'll be down there, But we're sure gonna try to do this first week for sure and at least try to program some people. It was shocking how many people were totally confused that going around the block was a square and then you get you back the other way, but they figured it out, 3 rights make a lot. But yeah,
Yeah, we appreciate you guys helping out down there. You get people stuck in their routine and it's tough for them to change, so they just need a little Marcus yelling at them to help them adjust.
And I work closely with the school and I'm still in discussions with them and they're entertaining the idea of possibly looking at 5th and 6th graders to start doing crossing guard.
Oh, okay.
Like they used to way back in the day, haven't done that in 4+ years. And they're entertaining the notion to bring it back, which I think would be awesome.
I was down in Missouri last week and looked like retired adults were actually doing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what,
well, I think that'd be good to do that with the children, learn,
Very
learn how to
positive,
live
yeah.
down there. Cause I don't know if Buffalo Lake Hector, if they have them, but I think all the other schools in there probably do. So it's,
We've got a combination of both at our school in Pittsburgh. So it's-
Yeah, St. Mary's was always their crossing.
Yeah.
But all the rest is so.
they always used to years ago and it's been gone for a while and they had mentioned that they wanted to do it. And like, yep, what do we gotta do to make it happen?
Right.
Oh, yeah, what's
I
the?
think the idea for the community ed director.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm meeting with her actually next week.
We shut down that one block, on Main Street going north. When the buses are in the loop,
Yeah.
on that street. So that, we've been fighting this for years, trying to keep the cars away from the kids that are going in the buses.
Yeah,
So this year we shut that block down and it still worked great today.
sure.
So that's what we're gonna continue to do for now.
Many with the bus company, one of her biggest concerns was kids just. If they get dropped off in the street anywhere on Ninth Street, they're gonna walk right between the buses going into the school, which they have for years. And she said,
Yeah, yeah.
based on the setup that was there, she said, this is gonna be worse. We don't wanna start going forward, not seeing the kid because they came from a blind spot.
Yeah.
And kid like, oh yeah, we don't want that either. So
No,
what can we do to make this better? So we sat down and talked to preschool, had a lot of concerns, school brought some concerns, bus company, different neighbors. And I'm like, all right, well, let's take a look at this and see what we can do to polish this a little bit before the first day of school and. Short of not having sidewalks available, which it is what it is, but overall, it seemed like it went. pretty
Yeah,
well.
I think the students will start parking on the other side and walking through the district. I think it's just a learning curve. We did have a kid try to walk between the buses and he got lit up real quick by a driver. Well, I mean, the message is going back. I'm sure. They're very vigilant about that.
We can make the first 2-3 weeks educational if possible. I think that's gonna set the tone for the rest of the year, and hopefully it'll be smooth after that, or relatively. So,
I think it was a hard change when the elementary came over here. And people never really got used to it, 'cause they're like, we've always done this, right? But we also had the kids in Bird Island, you know what I mean? It was different when you didn't have that age running around there, but now you do, and they're. You know, their focus is get inside, get breakfast or get to class or whatever, they're not.
So it's a self-preservation skill.
Get some complaints about traffic on the bridge. Would be my expectation in the future, but again, there's not much we can do, it's a temporary. Temporary project and, you know, I'll be inconvenienced a little bit, like,
the parking went down almost all the way to 11th Street on Birch Street, and they went down.
yeah,
So I'm sure neighbors are gonna be upset that they're having vehicles parked in front of their house all day, but they're not used to, but end of the day, it's public street, people can park there for a year. We all just have to suck it up and get over it.
we're not,
We don't need to like it, we just have to deal with it for a year and move on, so. but-
well, overall,
My only other concern, guys, going forward, we know that that fluffy white stuff is gonna be here before long, so just. Address whatever we can now and get people thinking. That, you know, obviously the addressing the students going through the buses, that's a great thing, but. Once those buses are on Chestnut and there's cars and stuff that are there. And then you add snow and the fact that those kids are gonna be walking right down the middle of the street to be. So that they're not walking through the snow in somebody's yard. That's gonna just, so whatever we can do to increase the public awareness. You know, cause the last thing we wanna see happen out there. You've got a little bit more control over the situation with quote unquote dry streets right now, but once that
Yeah.
all starts.
instead of closing Chestnut, posted somewhere there and having the drop offs go to the south to Birch. Depending on that, but we're just gonna play it by ear and see how it goes. I'm hoping the folks can figure it out a little better, but we'll see how it goes.
What about a temporary walking lane, like just
There's
spray
no-
painted?
Cause I had
Then just
considered,
make it no
I
parking.
had considered no parking, but there is so limited parking now. And I'm like, I don't know where people are gonna park if we take one side or the other of Chestnut. Cause I did look at it today, watching people and it's. I don't know, it could be an option, I'm just not. thinking
Just
so
keep
much
that in
about it.
mind, cause even if we just spray paint it for 1 year and say no parking and this is the walking lane. Like they have bike lanes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We
the
can't-
problem with spray paint is just when the white fluffy stuff covers it. It's
But
gonna be
if we do
hard.
it now, they'll be used to it by then.
Oh,
Or there could be,
Possibly.
you know, those like things they put up,
you put the.
There-
the-
yeah, that they put up for like.
Yeah, and like I said, I did consider that today when I talked to some of the drivers and they're like, this is gonna be a problem. I'm like, I see it, I'm not sure we're gonna have a solution yet, so.
And historically, they have always walked down Chestnut, that's not uncommon. I walk my kids to school, that's where we go from our house. There's just more of them now because parking's been forced back from the school more, so it's going down Chestnut and out of 10th Street, kind of in that area. More than before, so they're having probably 2-3 dozen more pedestrians. coming down there, boys.
Are the kids all parking over there too?
Well, that's what I'm
See
not
them-
sure, I saw a mixture, of course, this
see the
morning, and
kids
it's too
staying
early to
this way.
tell. But in my head, I'm thinking the kids are gonna go, I'm not parking there, and trying to park way back there. They got, go on this side of the school, I'm gonna go back around the other side of the school, I'm gonna park in the grass. And go in the district or something. I'm thinking the older kids will just figure that out on their own and go. I don't have to park there, I can park on the other side, and it's easier. So that'll eliminate some of them. Some of the other things, first day of school. 80% of parents wanna bring their kids to school first day. Is what it is, it'll change fairly quickly after the first week, I think.
Yeah.
So it's too early to say for sure, we're not gonna jump into anything until we monitor what we know.
Temporary parking on the grass for a year, I mean, grass can be brought back.
There's, like I said.
But if the school's grass, they'd have to decide to do.
Well,
that.
right, but if the students only could park there, you know what I mean, and then
If I
get
lived
them.
on that block, I'd rent the parking space. Somewhere.
Right, right.
Maybe got four, right?
There you go.
Building parking.
With a Lambeau Field right now.
It's like the state
Yeah, there'll be some growing pains there, there's not a real perfect way to do it, we know you guys will figure it out, we appreciate you helping out there, it's a. It's a mess, I'm sure.
Overall, though, the change we made was just generally nothing but positive feedback on the pedestrians on Chestnut. You know, that everybody was much happy with the new layout we came up with for the being able to park and drop offs, and that was kind of. Parents had concerns, like, what am I supposed to do with my preschool? It says no parking, well, yeah, we get that, we're not an airport. You can park and walk your child into school and come back, don't just stay parked there. So, long term, I'll probably work with the school to address some of that too. and
Yeah.
Maybe make that so teachers can't park there in the future, because historically they do. And then it's not much of a safe drop off where parents are walking now significantly farther with the kids, so we're already discussing that with the school to maybe look at
5-minute parking,
either maybe just changes
yeah,
how we do some signage there, or see if the school can just tell the teachers not to park.
Stop,
So
just-
we'll see what we can do to just improve that, but yeah, through the year, I think we got a good plan, we'll just keep tweaking it as needed.
I mean, I think a lot of people are willing to make the changes, they just have to be reminded, hey.
Yeah, I saw, I
Let's
didn't
put the
know
kids
whatsoever
first.
that
Yeah.
this was happening.
Yeah,
How
no,
do you not know
Right.
some of this is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I had one property owner yell at me as he went by and said, I'll be right back. Okay, no problem, just relax, it's fine. You got, you gotta tell me that though. They must have been.
Well, it's probably their first, so.
Yeah. All good, man, bad. Where my.
Danger, that's the way it is,
Way of the world.
yep. Excellent,
Wonderful.
thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
wonderful, Mike.
You as well.
You too.
Hopefully it'll be nice and quiet.
Nice
Hey, guys.
plan.
Hey, guys, how about you hang out just for another minute? I've got something that I'm gonna put out that it's important for both of you. All right, it's, you won't leave, I promise.
All right. Lead, copper results?
Yeah,
Oh,
so both
that's-
of those reports are in the packet, yep.
We'll move on to notices then. We have Rib Fest coming up in a week and a half. Get your tickets from any Olivia Fire Department member.
Or Renville County Sheriff. You can stop up at the sheriff's office, he has tickets as well.
Scary dog, but yeah, you can go to the sheriff's office too.
He is the defending champion this year, so.
Yeah, but we
you know,
appreciate it. We're just shopping local. You shop local with the fire.
Yeah,
department.
you go to.
I believe the county is in Olivia, so it's all.
But that's.
They're
where-
not
They're not bull draggers, they don't count.
They,
There you go.
Yeah.
they were invited into this competition and for whatever reason, they
Yeah.
were selected. Both, because I was a hose dragger for a long time, but the cops, they're not only good at donuts, they're also good at ribs, I gotta give it to
Okay.
them.
All right. We got a budget work session coming up in a week.
Yep.
Street improvement, conversation, following a regular meeting, in 2 weeks. And then the movie in the park. The Goonies,
The Goonies.
huh? That was a lot of fun last time. We appreciate everybody coming
Yeah, that
out.
was a good time.
This will be
Beautiful weather, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Any other notices?
I have a communication to make aware, September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I can tell you from personal experience, October for me will be 6 years cancer free. I'm winning this battle, but it was thank you. It was a blood test that I fought my doctor to get taken. This is not an old man's disease, as we've been told for years and years. It is something that is affecting men at a much younger age, and in the area that we live in, with the amount of fertilizers, pesticides, et cetera, they are finding that those things are also contributing to the cancer rates. So the blood test for prostate cancer awareness is a PSA. It is a simple blood draw. It establishes a baseline, and then 2 years later, they'll check that baseline again to see where it's at and if things are growing. You've been to military places other than just here in Minnesota, and that's a huge thing for those of us that have been deployed near and far. So for anybody that is listening, that is over the age of 30, I encourage you to start pushing your doctor to get this blood test taken.
Thank you, Councilman Howard. All right,
That means you guys.
Apparently, so.
Just had blood work done this year. Still up there.
with no further business on the agenda, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So.
Second.
Motion's been made by Ferguson, seconded by Evers to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
All right.